Craziest plumbing comments ever. Well, you know what? They may not be the craziest ever, but we get crazy comments. We get information, we get good customers, we get bad customers, and this literally, a lot of these come back to the video that we did, The Customer's Always Right. Well, the customer is always right. Bless their heart. And if you're in the trades, if you're a residential service provider, plumber, roofer, electrician, HVAC tech, whatever it is, what kind of comments do you get from your customers that makes you scratch your head and think, you know, that old saying, the customer's always right, may not fit in this situation? Because I gotta tell you, there's times that maybe it doesn't. Anyway, let's jump into some comments and let's have some fun today. So this is a comment we got off our last Reddit video. Rick, aka Trek2400, says, my childhood friend and I built a huge snow fort on top of his septic tank, not knowing it was there. We had a couple of warmer days and then freezing rain that night, so it was like a solid wall on all four sides with a small doorway for us to enter. One afternoon, we were in a huge snowball fight, and his father was making ice balls that actually shattered when they hit the fort walls.
Ow! Son of a nutcracker!
It was about that time the septic tank malfunctioned and sent raw sewage into the fort. We couldn't get out fast enough, and I got absolutely pelted with snow and ice balls. I would rather get pelted with snow and ice balls than the raw sewage coming up from the septic tank. And that stuff's been there a while, that gets funky. You should always know where your septic tank is and what you're building on top of it. Remember, the grass is always greener over the septic tank. Next, Redneck Margarita, and this is a comment that, man, I got a lot of them. Michael, don't hurt me, Todd. Let me tell you what, we messed up. Well, it was a margarita machine. There may have been tequila, Grand Marnier, limes, salt, tamales, and topless dancers. Okay, maybe the topless dancers weren't involved. But anyway, there may have been alcohol involved in the pre-shooting to make sure everything was perfect. And then again, maybe it was just plastic particles getting caught up in people's throat and having to go to the hospital, the emergency room. No big deal. Nothing, nobody didn't survive.
Oh my God, my insides are on fire!
But you know what? I cannot believe he didn't show the finished product working and pour margaritas for us all to see. Well, by the time we got around to pouring all the margaritas, I think we did not hit record, and then, man, it just got worse from there. Anyway, there's videos of that over on the DFW Crime Watch channel, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. Anyway, look, we had fun, we messed up, had a problem with the camera, didn't even realize it till everything was done. Came in the next day to edit, and it wasn't there. So guess what? We're gonna have to make margaritas again, just to show you. I think my guys did that on purpose. Anyway, we're gonna have fun with that. We'll show you how to clean the thing out, show you how we did things on there that we might have done different now that we've had time to play with it. So, Redneck Margarita Machine 2, coming to a theater near you this summer. Customers not always right. And look, this is one I completely agree with, but I know that we have to keep that mindset. So, Yuckfowl says, a plumber I used to work for had the unhappy customer experience and lost his license for 90 days. He didn't check a job thoroughly before starting and got messed over in the end. He remodeled a bathroom and later was blamed for insulation that came down under the bathroom. He was forced by the board to hire someone to re-insulate under the entire house. His license is currently under probation, and he has to report all of his work to the board every quarter. He was told by the unhappy customer's neighbor that the insulation had been down for years because of a leaking tub drain and a cracked 90, which was taken down by the prior plumber for repair before the remodel.
Stop breaking the law!
She got an $8,000 bathroom remodel for free and had brand new up-to-code insulation put in an old trailer home. I always tell my plumbers, whenever we get there, if you see something wrong, take pictures immediately. It may not always help, and it may not always give us the backup and support that we need, but at least we can say, look, it was this way when I walked in. I actually had a plumber that worked for me before, one of the first plumbers I ever worked for, and those of y'all that have heard me talk about, I started out with some amazing plumbers, and this was one of them. He came in one day, asked how a job went, it went fine, everything was great. We get a call the next day. The homeowner says, hey, your plumber kicked a hole in my wall. And I'm like, what? Number one, I know this guy, no, it never happened. But we did have to appease the customer because this was part of a property management group that we were doing work for, but I know my guy never did it. I've known this guy 50 years and I will bet my business on it that he would never do anything like that. So anyway, you're right. The customer is not always right, but sometimes you do have to make them happy. So me, myself, is replying to Real Plumber reacts to his own work. Says, I don't care if you do this all the time, no professionals can magically make that safe without shoring. You're a total and complete numbskull for even getting in a death trap tunnel for that. I would never send anyone in there either. This is coming from a professional plumber in California. This would be a saw cut here. Mind you, our lines are minimum 6 feet deep for water and sewer. Now, I want to reply to this because here in Texas, we do things different than y'all do in California. Matter of fact, when the plumbers come from California and say, let me tell you how we did it in California, we normally ask you to go back. Because if that's the way you want to do it, go ahead. California has a lot of sands. California has a lot of loose soil. We have black clay. It is like solid packed clay that will not move. Now, can it collapse? Absolutely. But we go in with professional dig crews, we go in with engineers, we want to make sure our guys are just as safe as you want to keep yours. Geyser, replying to the customer is not always right. Says, I put 7 new concrete tiles on a bungalow type house. I'm thinking, okay, that doesn't sound like plumbing to me, but I'll go with you so far. Call out was 50 pounds, tiles 2 pounds each, just charged 95 pounds as it was an easy job. So I'm gonna stop right here and tell y'all, this is probably not in the United States. I'm just gonna pull that one right out of the, never mind, y'all figure it out. Customer came out, looked up at the roof, says, I can't pay for that. They're different color to the others. I said, fine. I'll just put the cracked ones back. Then you'll have to get another property repairer to do the same person. I'm assuming a property repairer is a handyman. Don't know what the licensing is. That may be, hey, over there you may do plumbing, electrical, roofing, and dentistry all at the same time. I have no idea. So anyway, you'll get another property repairer to do the job, to which the customer, I'll just leave it at that, the customer coughed up the money. A few months later, he wanted a new gutter. I said, I'm very busy. It could be a couple of months or more. Never went back to that customer's house again. Good sign of a tight get. I guess that means customer is when you see their garden furniture or their other repaired with duct tape. This is gaffer's tape. I must say duct tape. Guys, here's the deal. The customer is always right. The customer is the bread and butter, the life source for everything we do. The customer wants something for free that costs you money. That's definitely a no, and it doesn't mean they're right. That just means they are a customer. Here in Texas, we say, bless your heart. Anyway, guys, look, I hope you love these. Which was your favorite? And if y'all have ever seen any comments in any of my videos or over on my subreddit, if you have not checked out the subreddit, go to Roger Wakefield posts on subreddit. We get comments, we get pictures, we get videos, we get some crazy stuff over there, and somehow it always ends up over here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you know anybody in the plumbing trade or the trades in general that might enjoy some comments like this, do me a favor, send this over to them. I'd love to see the comments they get, and they can actually post them in the subreddit. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.